I have a friend who works at Disney as an Imagineer, which means that his job literally is to dream things up and then bring them into reality. And he taught me something so simple, but it has made my life so much better. It's a part of why I went to Brazil earlier this year for a total of 9 days because I was invited by a friend. It's the reason why I can eat with my left hand. It's the reason why I can use a mouse with my left hand. All these things. It's the reason why there was a time when I got a wart on my right hand and I had to have it frozen off while I was in college. But thankfully, I had learned to write with my other hand. And all these things that could have been problems just weren't. And so in this video, I want to show you this one thing that Parker taught me. He was an Imagineer at Disney, and he did not name this Parker's rule. He showed me the idea, and really the way that he taught it to me was there was this one month where I simply wanted to write with my non-dominant hand for a month. That was all he did. And afterwards, he realized there was this principle or this idea that he took something that he already needed to do. He already needed to write. But all he did was he changed one simple thing. The way he phrased it was he would change it by 3 to 5%. And so he went, "Hey, I already need to write. Let me try writing with my left hand." And he did that for a month. And that actually inspired me. I came back up here to Northern California. I had one more semester left of college, and I went, if over this summer I learn to write with my left hand and then I can take notes with my left hand, that would be amazing. And what I didn't know, like I shared in the intro, was that 3 weeks into the semester, I would get a wart and need to have it frozen off. Well, the doctor went, it was on my pointer finger, and he told me this is going to be really painful and it's going to be really hard to write with your right hand. And he just assumed I was right-handed dominant because that's what I told him. And then what ended up happening is I had already been writing with my left hand for 2.5, 3 months. So this thing that could have been this huge problem just wasn't. And it was because I had done something different intentionally for a while. And then all of a sudden I just had this option that was just available. It was simple. It was easy. It was already a part of me. It wasn't something that I needed to try to learn. Like, imagine if instead I go, oh no, I have to learn to write with my left hand and I've never written with my left hand. That's a lot harder. And the other thing with that, with this idea in particular, I actually sent this as a newsletter earlier this week. I already had a friend who sent me a DM or a text message, and he went, "Dude, he's a runner, and all he did was I ran a different way than I normally would have ran, and when I did that, I saw this statue that's on my campus, and that statue actually reminded me of this person who was giving this talk that was on nuclear energy and peace, and that's exactly what's happening in our world right now." And it's just another example that simply he was already going to go on a run, but he just ran a different way than he normally would have. He's also going to be sitting in a different spot in his college classroom than he normally would. He had an issue where he wanted to do a specific bicep curl, and the machine that he normally would have used, it was taken. So he just tried a different machine. These are all small things. It can also be like a small thing can be whatever you normally order at your coffee shop. Try it with a variation. So if you normally get a cold brew, try a cold brew with one of the fun foams that seems like every coffee shop is doing. Or try something that you've never tried before at your coffee shop. There's one of two outcomes. Either you go, wow, I did not like this new thing that I tried, which is information. That's actually very helpful information. And the other thing, you could try it and it could be way better than anything you've ever tried before. And wouldn't that be amazing that you try something new and go, oh my goodness, this is the best thing that I've ever tried before? That is possible with just your coffee order. So do that. And the next thing, the medium thing, is to take wherever it is that you're driving. If you drive to work, probably in a similar pattern, and go can I, in Google Maps, look at the 3 or 5 different options that are available? Like, what happens if I turn off highways or I turn on tolls? Like, there are all these things that we just default this one path, but there's actually a bunch of different ways to get to where you're going. And if you do that, the fun thing is you will then see buildings that are being built, restaurants that you might not have known existed, coffee shops that you've never driven by before. And all of a sudden, this place that seems so familiar might become like, wow, there's all these cool things that I didn't even know existed. And then the larger thing is do something that you've never done before. So this could be like what I did earlier this year. I went to Brazil for the first time with friends of mine who grew up there. This last weekend, I did a weekend trip that I put together where I had a private chef come out and a photographer and some great friends and did this one weekend. There's going to be another one on April 25th. There's going to be a one-day thing. And then in September, either September or October, there's going to be another weekend experience just like this one. So if you want more information for that, you got to subscribe to the newsletter because those people will know about it first. And the thing is that I didn't know if I would like these things or if they would even work. But by doing them and trying this new thing, now all of a sudden I have this new information, which is I loved bringing these great people together for this event. It went, I love this. This is amazing. Like, this is the human connection that no matter how much AI progresses, this need for real friendships is still going to be here. And had I not tried that, I wouldn't have known that this was possible. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing that you already have to do, whether it's driving to work, grabbing coffee, food that you need to buy to make for dinner. Take one of those things, modify it 3 to 5%. Meaning, order something different at the coffee shop. Try some new variation of the food that you're normally getting. Drive a different route to work or try a new exercise in the gym. And the other thing is pay attention to what you notice when you make that shift. Do you like it better? Do you like it worse? And it's okay if you go, wow, this was not as good as what I had before. Remember, that's information. And if all you do is do the same thing over and over again, and you're like, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. You don't know that there could be things that are way better that you have just never given yourself permission to try. So try the new things. It's super fun. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing another weekend, the 24th through the 26th. I'm still figuring out all the details, but that will be coming. So go ahead and join the newsletter if you want more information on that. It's only going to be 8 guys maximum. The other thing, I don't think I have it on the table, but I have a book that's called Just Start. So if you want, you can check that out. This is kind of a part of my podcast series called The Room, which is really all about being in the right rooms and developing the right skills and being around the right people. So that's what I have for you today. This was also a newsletter, so you can go ahead and check that out. It should be in the description, or the link to join my newsletter will be down there. And I hope you guys have an epic rest of your day. Adios.